Stop scrolling for just a moment because what was just said could directly affect your wallet. Donald Trump is now claiming that $2,000 dividend checks are ready for execution, and that phrase alone has set off shockwaves across social media, financial circles, and millions of American households. But here's the real question. No one is answering clearly yet. Who actually gets paid first, and how soon could this really happen? This isn't just another campaign soundbite or recycled stimulus rumor. The wording matters, the timing matters, and the structure behind these so-called dividend checks could determine whether this is immediate relief, a phased rollout, or something far more limited than the headlines suggest. Some Americans could be at the front of the line, while others may not qualify at all, and the criteria being discussed may surprise you. Behind the scenes, analysts are dissecting what ready for execution truly means, how it would be funded, and whether it ties to existing federal programs, tax credits, or a completely new mechanism. Small details buried in policy language could decide if these checks arrive fast, arrive later, or never arrive at all. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what's been said, what hasn't been said, and why this announcement is generating so much urgency right now. Before you assume anything, you need to hear this full breakdown. If you want clear facts, smart context, and zero hype, make sure you stay with us, and tap that like button to support the channel. Now let's take a breath and really unpack what's happening here, because when a former president uses the phrase, ready for execution, that's not casual language. It's deliberate, it's calculated, and it's meant to signal something much bigger than a vague promise. For many Americans, those words immediately trigger memories of stimulus checks hitting bank accounts during moments of crisis. But this time feels different, and that difference is exactly why people are paying attention. Trump's claim about $2,000 dividend checks doesn't exist in isolation. It's arriving at a moment when economic anxiety is simmering just below the surface for millions of households. Prices are still high, savings are thin, and confidence in long-term stability feels shaky. In that environment, even the suggestion of direct payments creates a powerful emotional reaction. But emotion alone doesn't tell the full story, and that's where clarity matters most. The word dividend is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. A dividend implies that money is being returned to people because they are stakeholders, not because they are in distress. That distinction matters politically and economically. It reframes the narrative away from emergency relief and toward shared benefit. It suggests that Americans are entitled to a portion of national success, whether that success comes from trade, energy production, or economic growth. This framing is intentional because it changes how the policy is perceived and who feels justified receiving it. Naturally, the biggest question is eligibility. Who would actually qualify if something like this moved forward? While no official framework has been released, historical patterns offer clues. Past payments prioritize taxpayers, families with dependents, seniors, and working individuals within certain income ranges. If this follows a dividend-style model, it could favor those who actively contribute to the economy through work or taxes. That possibility excites some people and concerns others, especially those who fear being left out. Then there's the issue of who gets paid first. In any large-scale payment program, rollout order matters. Payments are rarely simultaneous. Some groups receive funds faster due to existing infrastructure, while others wait weeks or months. That's why speculation is swirling around retirees, veterans, and low-income households. Each group has a compelling argument for prioritization, and the silence on this point suggests negotiations are still unfolding behind closed doors. Funding is where the debate becomes intense. Supporters argue that dividend checks could be funded without adding to the national debt, potentially through tariffs, trade revenue, or profits tied to national resources. Trump has previously suggested that America's economic leverage could be used more aggressively to generate revenue. Critics counter that such approaches are unpredictable and could raise costs elsewhere. This tug-of-war is central to whether the idea gains traction or stalls. Another layer that can't be ignored is timing. Announcements like this don't surface randomly. They appear when public attention is high and frustration is palpable. With elections looming and economic pressure mounting, messaging around direct payments becomes especially potent. It speaks directly to people who feel unseen and unheard. That doesn't automatically make it insincere, but it does mean viewers should pay attention to how the message evolves. What makes this moment stand out is how quickly the phrase "ready for execution" spread. Markets reacted, commentators dissected it, and everyday Americans started asking practical questions. Not philosophical ones, but real ones. Will this help me? Do I qualify? When would it happen? That shift from abstract debate to personal impact is significant. It shows that people believe this could be more than talk. Still, history urges caution. Many proposals generate headlines and never materialize. The path from announcement to action is long and filled with obstacles. Legislative approval, legal challenges, and administrative logistics all play a role. Even if momentum builds, delays are common. That doesn't mean the idea lacks value. It means expectations need to be realistic. What's undeniable is that this conversation has already changed the narrative. It's forced a broader discussion about economic participation and fairness. Should Americans benefit directly from national prosperity? Should payments be universal or targeted? These questions don't have easy answers, but they matter deeply. As more details emerge, viewers should watch closely. Pay attention to who supports the idea, who opposes it, and who avoids commenting altogether. Silence often speaks louder than words. The way this proposal is framed in the coming weeks will reveal its true intent and viability. At its core, this moment reflects something bigger than a check. It reflects a nation grappling with how value is shared and how trust is built. Whether or not $2,000 dividend checks ever reach mailboxes, the discussion itself signals a shift in how economic relief is talked about. So stay alert, stay informed. Don't let headlines alone shape your understanding. Watch the details, question assumptions, and follow the developments closely. And if this breakdown helped you cut through the noise and understand what's really at stake, make sure you hit that like button. It supports the channel and helps keep these important conversations alive.